Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and give me a minute here. Okay, Namaste, beloveds. This is um, another video. Yesterday I did a video on doubt, and today I woke up with a realization after watching um, the news last night. Um, In particular, two things stuck out in my conscious awareness as I watched them and as I observed them from a neutral place where I was not triggered, where my mind was not immediately led to how I'm conditioned to think, but as a critical thinker. And two of the stories, one was of the 1619 Project and how this beautiful, beloved woman of color who dedicated herself to this project and who was recruited to do this is being denied tenure. Based on the present frequencies and tones and energy. And the other was of a young black man being beaten, listening to his pain, his agony, as he's trying to communicate to the white officers who was beating him that he is their brother. And for whatever he did, he was sorry. And watching them verbally and physically dominate and abuse him touched something very ancient within me. And then I listened to the Don Lemon show, and I listened to the mother, and I watched the sister as well, contained. From a strong foundation of justice, because they are aware of the strength, the responsibility, and the presence that's needed in this moment of time that we once again find ourselves in as a species, as a collective of incarnated souls to correct, to transmutate, to heal, to release. And I'm watching and I'm observing and I'm taking all of this in. I'm looking at these officers from their stand of superiority, from their alpha maleness, from their I'm going to make you suffer, I'm going to punish you, I'm going to make an example out of you. knowing that they're wearing body cams. This is no longer hidden, beloveds. Knowing that it will be viewed, knowing that it will be seen, knowing that it will be aired. Yet this is the stance that these ones take. And take is the correct word, because for a colonizer to instill its ideology, its idols, onto those that it conquers, it must take away all doubt of who is in charge, of who is the master and who is the slave. And the easiest way to do this is without mercy, to be as ruthless and as graphic and as violent as possible. And yet they call themselves civilized. This is the type of civilization that masters their agenda, that masters their thought, their mental thoughts, their emotional thoughts, their feelings. And we, as the minority, have been miniaturized, not only in our stature, but in our way of perceiving and conceiving our own worth, our own self-love, our own value, our own beauty, our own language, our own way of communicating. And we call it soul. We call it soul. Being soulful, having soul, showing soul. So when you contrast being a soulful being against what says you are nothing, you are a slave, you are beneath, you are a bottom feeder. What does that do? What do we instill in our children? What kind of laws are written so that this philosophy, this idea is able to survive, change? Because everything changes. And so we look at it as we're battling a people or we're battling a mindset. No, beloveds, we are ushering in change. We are ushering in and making room for the spirit of change. Just as John the Baptist made the way for Jesus, he ushered in an awareness, a conscious awareness. It does not happen overnight, but it happens from inside your spirit. when that spirit no longer doubts its purpose, its right to existence, its own representation as existence, not guided or limited to the opinions of others, to the assumptions of others, to the perception of others, then it begins to expand. It begins to evolve. It begins to bloom. It begins to blossom. It begins to grow. And it increases in light frequencies. And it begins to glow. And it has others noticing now. It comes up in your conscious awareness, and they are looking a little bit deeper and saying, what's that all about? That's different. And so they begin to observe from a deeper conscious awareness within their own incarnated being. And they first judge it by the physical, by what can be seen, what can be analyzed and assessed. And then it's deeper than that. It's something more that I'm not seeing, that can't be seen with the eyes or heard with ears. What is this? And what they're beginning to understand is that they have been touched. Their spirit has been stirred, has been moved by the spirit of another. And what they see or what they feel in that presence is a remembrance, is a memory of something larger than themselves or what they have known. But it's a memory that's familiar to me. I want more of that. That's different than what I know. And beloveds, that's where hierarchies, that's where tones and frequencies and caste systems and judgments and separation and subjugation and control, that's where all of that comes in and plays a part. It plays a part in the understanding by creating or destroying doubt within you. And beloveds, doubt is but the comparison of what you intrinsically incarnated knowing versus what the eyes, the physical eyes see, what the physical eyes hear, what the body feels, the conditionings, the trends, the tones, what everybody else's opinion is, how they see it versus how you see it, how you see it physically, how you see it spiritually, how you see it emotionally, how you feel about it, what you think about it. with truth, with honesty, beyond a shadow of a doubt. What do you feel truly about it? I ask Spirit, what is going on with this Israeli Pakistani um, explosion? And I know that it's a very ancient one. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, well, I remember Donald Trump and Netanyahu were very close, and he was doing this and he was doing that, and he represents this kind of frequency, and he represents that, and I've kind of got him pegged as this. But how does this play out in all of this? How is it representative of the whole? Because it is. And I was shown, what's the difference? Is it the beliefs? Or is it the skin tone of those who are facing off or squaring off? What is the discrimination? Take out the religion. Take out the philosophies and the ideologies. Strip it down bare. What is the doubt that is being defended, that is being established, that is being upheld, that is being fought against? Territory. Territory based upon what? The ownership of a designated space or side. Based upon what? Based upon being right by might, by white. It took me to what was happening in America, in Charlottesville, North Carolina, and understanding the history of the Carolinas and how they are designated as vacation spots for those who are more affluent. Yet they were the ports where you go and buy your slaves. These were the docking places where they were imported. These were the smuggling places. These were the epicenters of modern day trade, so to speak. And when Trump was in office, there was a protest where they were marching up and down the streets in the nighttime with tiki torches, saying the Jews will not replace us. And yet these same beings raise funds, financial backing to keep their hope alive and to remove the doubt that they are crumbling, that they are moving into unfertile extinction, that their way of being has finished and is finishing up its cycle and its season to be replaced by another. And these ones, beloveds, they are so clever at sowing doubt, at seeding doubt. I call them the motherfuckers. Okay? That's what I call them. And they come in all colors. They come in all shapes, all sizes, from all backgrounds. It is a vibration. It is a spiritual frequency. It is a luciferic false light of supremacy. It is the fake and the phony. It is a knockoff. It is an imitation. But you have those who will kill you to say it is the original. It is the most authentic. It is the side that I have chosen to represent and that represents my being, my existence, my choice of existence. And if it steps on the necks of others to demonstrate my right, my superiority, my power, my strength, my authority, then this is what I will do. And I will do it in the face of the world. And I will do it on camera. And I will do it again and again and again and again. Because it has worked for me before. Throughout his story. And who are you, this generation, to change it? To call it into question? To bring it to the light? To be examined and dissected, vivisected, and amputated, and have laws passed? Who are you? And you know what my spirit says? Each of us is the Messiah. Each of us holds within us the seed. We incarnated with to save the earth, to save ourselves from the doubts, to uproot, to clean out this garden that has overgrown with these weeds, that has shrouded with overgrown shrubbery that keeps the light to a minimum, that forms shadow and shade. For those seeking refuge from the light, from the truth. And beloveds, you cannot have the light without the dark. So don't get what I'm saying twisted. There is not a choice of this or that, because it's the same coin. but how you spend that coin, what you spend that coin on, how you earn that coin, that is what matters to existence. That is the vibration, that is the frequency that either restores, rejuvenates, helps to rebuild, helps in the rebirth, or it helps to destroy, or takes from the life force. And we need to start seeing things in these terms. These terms outside of black and white. These terms outside of brown and yellow and red. They are frequencies, they are undertones. We have assigned these colors to our chakra system, ancient wisdom. We have assigned colors to astronomy and astrology. We have assigned numbers and alphabets to different things that are able to, as we say, create words, to cast spells. And where the attention goes is the energy that flows there and dwells and makes itself home. And beloveds, I want you just to step back for a moment. And I want you, in your mind, just to check in with yourself. See how many doubts you have about your own existence, not about another's, not about their perception or the way your own doubts, your own thoughts, your own feelings about this and that. Where does it come from? Where is the doubt? What is the doubt rooted in? Was it handed down, or was it something that you created? Was it a condition a tradition given to you? Was it a certain lens crafted so this is what you see? This is it. This is what you look through. This is how you observe, and this is what you're going to see, and that's it. Or do you take those blinders off? And do you explore and examine the threads of what have been woven together to create, to dress the skin of doubt? And from that, can you regenerate or reweave or recreate a new skin, craft a new lens, create a new way of existing within existence that is more beneficial to you? Because everything begins and ends with you. You incarnated for you. You did not incarnate for your mother. You did not incarnate for your children. You did not incarnate for your husband or your wife or your lover or your friend or your adversary or your mentor. You incarnated for you, for yourself as a unique divine expression of existence. And you are to expand within that framework, within those deep, still waters, and understand that many things are going to be thrown in that water, going to create all kind of ripples and storms and upsets and cast reflections and sink to the bottom and rise to the top and float on the surface, and there's so much. But never ever doubt that you are existence. And you have a right, sovereign right, that comes from your developing within a womb, all the way to the point of where you could be born into this world. Flesh, but a spirit inside. A holy, holy, holy spirit. And that spirit, beloveds, it is one. Even though it has so many different frequencies and tone and textures and shapes and sizes and substances and depths and colors, seen and unseen, subtle and just loud and banging in your face. And you cannot have one without having the other. But all of it is you. And you have to learn how to accept the deepest, darkest, shadowiest, nastiest, negativist, bitchiest, murderous, most violent aspects of yourself. And don't allow them to create such doubt within you that it overshadows your love, your unconditional love, your ability to expand within that love because of that love. It gives you the ability to ascend, to rise above your lowest frequencies, your lowest tendencies, your lowest, most lustful of desires. It gives you the discipline, the self-love, the respect. Okay, I didn't quite get that right, so we'll try that again. I have the ability to start over. And I don't care who judges me off of what I did yesterday or 10 minutes ago or what I said. I have the ability to begin anew. And I'm going to baptize myself in this energy, in this inner light, in this inner knowing. And I'm going to rise up out of the depths. And I'm going to emerge victorious over what? Over my doubts. Over me doubting me. Over that which wants to tarnish my sovereignty. wants to rip it away from me, wants to deny me my rightful place within a higher consciousness, within a higher state of consciousness. Doubt is shackles that will hold you down, that will anchor you, that will tether you, that will keep you leashed. I gave the definition of what doubt. Doubt is fear. Doubt is uncertainty. Doubt causes discrimination. You discriminate against what you fear, be it unknown or you just have a need to be, I have to stay on top of that. I gave the illustration from Genesis with Adam and Eve and Lilith. And the whole Adam, I've got to stay on top of this. I've got to be on the top. I've got to be on the top. Or else what? You're going to doubt. You're afraid that if you're not on the top, you're what? You're the bottom. Top and bottom, what's the difference? It was spoken about intercourse, about Lilith telling Adam, we're equal. Why do I have to be underneath you for you to get yours? And if I'm not underneath you, you have this, you've made this what we do that is supposed to be love, this exchange of energy. You've created it to be something that it's not, never was supposed to be this. We were created the same instant. We were created equals. What you know, I know. What I am, you are. What is this? I have to be on the bottom thing with you, Adam. And there was no integration there because Adam was unable to get rid of his doubts about his own self, his sovereignty. And it shows in, when you have a special needs child, you have to adapt certain things. When you bring a child an infant into your home, a toddler that grows up into this toddler, and you have to, toddler proof your home. You have to put soft things on the ends of tables, and you have to lock your cabinets, and you have to lock your refrigerator, and you have to put these borders and barriers and boundaries up so that child stays safe. When you really understand and you look into how God viewed Adam as his special needs child, gave him a companion from within himself, from out of his ribs, so that he could understand and discuss what he needed with a being that would hold his same values, his same thoughts, because they were one, And Adam still harbored his doubts. Thus he spread those to Eve. Thus they spread them to their children. And they created all of this stuff, all of these mental um, constructs and ideologies. And you see that in the whole Cain and Abel saga. You see how the doubt was passed on and how it played itself out by creating death in order to uphold its own superiority. It played itself out in the relationship with Adam and Lilith. It destroyed the relationship. She separated herself. Because of what? Because of his doubt. He didn't know his place as an equal. He felt he had to be superior. And that comes from what? Doubt, fear. And instead of discussing this fear with God, having these conversations, things manifested. That's why we say it's Maya. It's a play playing itself out as conscious awareness. And we're incarnating and into these different roles and characters to do what? Figure it out. To establish and create the right kind of frequencies that's necessary to regenerate paradise, conscious awareness, the equality of that state as one of peace. See, peace is the opposite of doubt as well. We say war is the opposite of peace, but what is war if it is not doubt being acted out upon? We are at war. The scriptures tell us not against flesh, not against another incarnated being, not against another entity, but against the powers and principalities. The powers and principalities are ideas and ideology that dwell within the mental, physical, emotional, and spirit realms of existence. And we have to learn the communication and learn how to ascend and descend, transmute and transcend in these different bodies, realms, kingdoms of reality. We are multi beings dealing with multiverses, seen and unseen, shallow and depth beyond imagination. And you cannot have one without the other. And we were given by the ancients as a navigation system, universal laws. And these universal laws apply to all. There's no separating universal laws from existence. It is the fabric of existence. It is the universal laws are the fabric of your being. It is what makes you breathe. It is what makes your heart beat. You don't control those things. We call them voluntary or involuntary. These are universal laws of operation. You must breathe. You must have a heartbeat. Even the most inanimate of objects came into being from that core tenet, precedent of universal laws. And beloveds, we have to begin to treasure the diversity of tastes, smells, textures, substances, colors, frequencies, tones, individuals, collectives. We have dumbed ourselves down with our doubts. We keep ourselves enslaved with our own doubtful reasonings of our existence and of our ability to exist, not to survive, but to exist. And everything is connected. What is connected in Russia with Putin is connected to the United States. And what is connected in Brazil, Israel, Pakistan, India, it all comes back down to the same principles. See, at one time, there was only one language. That language was unconditional love, and it was spoken fluently. And beings worked together through that, for that, and to increase that awareness. And we were told that this group called the Elohim, who considered themselves superior, caused division. They caused division by creating doubt, with the use of what? A language. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't understand. I doubt. I doubt what I hear. I doubt what I see. I doubt what I think I know. I doubt you because I doubt me. How can I not doubt you if I doubt myself? And you want to take it personal. All you got to do is trust me. If I don't trust myself, if I don't love myself, if I am not intimately integrating and getting to know myself, how am I going to allow someone else to really relate to me? You're going to relate to me better than I can relate to myself? And I'm to trust your judgment, what you see, what you think, because I don't know, because I'm scared, because I doubt my ability to handle my own intuition and instincts, because I've been programmed and conditioned and taught. That is not real. That is not what you see. That is not allowed. You have to act like this. You have to look like this. You have to be like this. You have to do this. You have to, you have to, you have to. Or else. Or else what? Or else you're not going to be accepted. Or else you're not going to fit in. Or else you're not going to be loved. Or else you're going to be by yourself. Or else people are going to hate you. People are not going to understand. So I doubt people, or I doubt myself. Or I doubt both. How do I get out of that? That vicious cycle, that cage of expectations, false expectations, false identities, masks, performances and characters, aspects of shadow and light, puppets, pretend and posturing, preferences, prologues and stories. What is the main idea? Who are the characters? What is the tension? What is the conflict? What does the main character doubt? What is the main character defending? What is the moral of the story? What are the measures? What is it built upon? Is it easily identifiable, or is it abstract and obscure? Is it a mystery? We exist to explore and to expand in our conscious awareness. Our conscious awareness is the acceptance of what is, beyond a shadow of a doubt. That stillness, that exists beyond incarnation, beyond the mind's chatter, beyond the physical heart's desires and feelings, questions, and expectations. I exist beyond all of those things. I exist beyond this flesh. I exist beyond this lifetime. Without a doubt, this is what I build. I nourish myself with, from. This is what I regenerate. This is my fuel forward. This is my home base. This is my ground. This is my most sacred space. This is my protection. This is the seed sound. This is the emotion from which I flow from. This place cannot be disturbed by doubt or chaos or questions, because it is wisdom itself. It is the answer. It is the answer. There is no other answer. And so it's about settling in to this vastness and knowing that there is no way to overwhelm yourself. There is no way to overwhelm anyone else. There is no way that you're going to blow up the world or that you're going to unleash hell upon all. There is only balance and peace and patience and stillness. And it is a remembered, it is so familiar. It is so familiar. The familiarity with me is that of a child. You know, when you're first born and you have these new senses, eyes, ears, whatever, this new way of being present, but you're also aware of that which you just seem to separate from. You're still very attached to that knowing, to that stillness, to that womb, to that void, to that deep abyss of light and shadow. And beloveds, it's from this space, this is the heart of existence. This is the heart of existence. And we have yet to really give it a home within ourselves because we doubt it. Because there are forces, there are powers and principalities that want to keep us outside of this kind of peace. And these forces infect other beings and manifest things that create doubt, manifest situations and circumstances and sciences. You know, what brings all of that to bear for me is the GMO foods. You don't hear about that now. But at one time, that was the thing. But people got so, no, not on my watch. No, 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 y'all done gone too far. There's no doubt that I'm going to think these things are good for me. They're good for the earth. They're good for my children. There's no doubt that that seed did not take. It was rejected from my conscious awareness, from my existence as being too much. Too much what? Too much shadow. Too loud a frequency. Too much a harbinger of death. Easily seen. Couldn't hide it. Came from the people that created Agent Orange. And it was propagated through the various systems. And even those who appeared to be in places of power had to push it, even if they didn't agree with it, because of those elites or those Elohim in the background. Natural law, universal law, wisdom. Plant these in your conscious awareness. They will uproot doubt. Just like you have, let's talk about common sense for one moment. Okay? Common sense. I went and got my vaccination, my COVID shot, my very first one, so that I can travel again to go see my grandchildren who are in California. Now, some years ago, when this whole vaccination thing, I jumped on that bandwagon with both feet and all of my weight, okay? And you could not move me. I told my daughter, don't you get them babies vaccinated, don't you do that. This caused this and this and that and that and this and this and this and that. Don't you do that, don't you do that. And I realized the doubt that had been planted in me, like I said right now, I realized the doubts. And I realized the fertile ground that is our conscious awareness right now in this particular beginning of this season of Aquarius, this season and cycle of Aquarius. And that what we do now is what is going to move forward, is what is going to create the functionality, the frequency, the tone, the texture, the colors of this new age. We do that with our conscious awareness and where we are in our own evolution and acceptance of our own identity as aspects of existence. Getting back to common sense, I've heard so many conspiracy theories, so many doubts offered. One is that by getting this shot, the government will be able to track you. It's the serum itself is, I guess, full of tracking agents that's going to be infused into your biological system, and they're going to be able to track you based upon what's now in your system. Beloveds, critical thinking. They say there's a sucker born every minute. And what makes you a sucker is your inability to pause and think from the many different dimensions and aspects of your essence as existence, but to be lazy and just go with the first thought that moves you or triggers you, or you jump on that little bandwagon because it's cute. or because so and so is over there, and you know that's the thing right now. I like so and so and so, and so is over there, then it's got to be true. When we are born in the United States, we're given a social security number. That number tracks us. When you have sign up for insurance, you're trackable, traceable. When you apply for any kind of license, driver's license, any kind of license, any kind of certification, you are trackable. When you get a cell phone, you are trackable. When you get any kind of bill, light bill, gas bill, water bill, mortgage, blah, 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 cell phone bill, you are trackable. Do you really think the government is going to spend billions of dollars to make a chip to go into a serum to inject you with so that they can track you if they want to track you? And what the hell are you doing that is so special and intense that they need to watch you, or that you need to feel some kind of way about being watched? Common sense resides in the peace and in the stillness. If they want to watch you that bad, baby, they got drones, they got trackers, they got bugging devices. You done seen 007 and all these different movies? Come on now, do you think they really gotta set up a vaccine to inject you, to track you with, knowing that it's your choice whether you gonna get it or not? I was born in 1965, and I can remember times in school where they were giving out the polio vaccination. They were giving out the little cubes of sugar, and we had to stand in line to get them. We also had to have training drills of getting up under our desks or going out in the hall with our heads between our knees in case we were bombed by the communist or whatever was going on. Beloveds, there is so much technology now that common sense sometimes is overlooked as your sovereign device of instruction and your first defense and your first protection. Pause. Think with all your being, not just your brain or what someone else said or how you triggered and feel about it because they said, oh, they're killing all the babies and they're doing this and they're doing that and they're doing this and they're doing that, just so they can trigger that emotional part of you so that you'll react or respond without thinking for yourself. That's manipulation. They have made an art out of it. We see it in the ads and advertisements. When you wonder, I was looking at Halston on um, Netflix the other night and listening to them and listening to him saying what he needed to do in order to really get himself out there as a name, as a entity, as an idea, as a mirror, as a reflection, as an aspect of what it meant to be accepted, to be at the height of fashion, to be the best, to be superior. And he was selling this dress to this one socialite. And she sat there and she said, "Oh, yes, I want that same dress, that dress right there, in every color. It's the same dress. But you want it in how many colors? You want it in all of these different colors so that you can express yourself, express your diversity in the same manner, but just with a different frequency. It's a Halston. That's all that matters. When you see me, you see what I have. You see what I'm wearing. And so that should get rid of all your doubts as to who I am. My character, Halston dispels that. I'm the best. Am I a lover? Oh, I'm the best. I wear Halston. Does my shit stink? No. You can't smell it over the Halston. Halston, no doubt. And we pour and I don't mean to just put Halston out there like that. There's Gucci, there's this name brand, there's that name brand, there's Cadillac, there's Ford, there's you name it. Diamond versus emeralds, blue versus red, hip hop versus R&B. You name it. You got this. Oh, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. You on top. You on top. You Adam. You on top, baby. And now you got to stay on top. So you gotta let everybody else know they the bottom. Mercilessly. I am so grateful for this energy, this spiritual energy that is surging with this supermoon that's going to take place on the 26th of May. Beloveds, I want you to look at the powers and principalities and understand the changes that are being wrought by universal laws. Okay? And for those that you are looking at and you that don't make no sense. How come they can't see that? How what do I what why they're not going to see it. It's not their time. They're here to enforce the doubt. That is their purpose. That is their energy exchange. That is their frequency. That is their light. That is where they are in the spectrum of existence. That is what they are here to represent. We are teachers to each other. Do not think that because I'm the right one and you're the wrong. No, there cannot be no right without wrong. There cannot be no light without dark, without shadow. Wisdom says they serve a purpose. These polarities. Do not get on your high horse and want to go charging the windmill of a polarity. To put that polarity in its place. What place? Your side? Something higher than you gave it a responsibility. Stay in your place. Remove the doubt from your conscious awareness of what is taking place in the multiverse, in the physical, in the mental, in the spiritual, in the emotional, on this earth plane, on the universal plane, on the individual plane, on the collective plane. You are an asset to existence. Thus you were able to incarnate. You are an asset to this particular space, this present moment. You have accumulated Akashic records and knowledge and lives and livings and abilities and ways and means to bring forth the expansion of conscious awareness at this time. Whether you are here to recognize it and help anchor that frequency, or if you're here to oppose it and anchor that frequency so it can be seen, so it can be witnessed, so it can be observed by those whose turn, cycle, season it is to rise above their doubts. We serve each other. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. There is no top. There is no bottom. There's only existence. And how you choose to exist, that's your framework. You give that weight. You make that matter. You give it a tone and a frequency and an image. You maintain that. You fuel it, you nourish it, you kill it, you resurrect it, you give birth to it. Okay? That's you. No one else. Although we like to get caught up in the thinking that so made me do that and I'm like this because of my mama and then. Those are doubts. Doubts grow. They are the dandelions in the grass. And they're gonna be there. You're not going to get rid of them. You're gonna poison the ground so that you don't have dandelions. Putting poison in the water, putting poison in the plants, putting poison in the unseen microcosm of insects and minerals and elements, all because I don't like the dandelions. We can tell ourselves that we are so intelligent, but we are still at war with each other and ourselves. We're at war with ourselves. Our doubts whoop our ass on a daily basis, okay? And put us in our place. And we most of us aren't even aware. I'm 56 years old, and I'm just exploring the ranges that I was taught to fear. I used to think, oh, if I do this or if I go that, or if I read that, that's demonist. That's demonic. That'll take me over, that'll possess me, and I'll no longer be myself. And it'll make me do things that I don't want to do. That makes you doubt your own authority, your own spiritual sovereign authority that you incarnated here with. You have the ability to separate the truth from a lie. You have the ability to discern with wisdom, with hope, with compassion, with patience, with charity, and with mercy. And if you choose to discriminate, then you are casting aside unconditional love. You're casting aside that which is your essence. So you're denying yourself. And you're fortifying, spewing, vomiting doubt. You're expanding doubt, not only within yourself, but outside yourself. So we have a lot to examine, beloveds. And like I said, this energy that is present and presenting itself at this time my spirit tells me our conscious awareness is expanding because of it. We are being given the ability to empty ourselves of what is dead, what is dying, what no longer serves, with nutrients, with nourishment, with hope, with health, with spirit, with a conscious awareness that will take us where we need to be, into the future that we give birth to. That will come from the common sense that is aware of the effects, the negative effects of doubts. Doubts is what gives you high blood pressure, what causes you all kind of worry and tension and stress and migraines, and we kill ourselves with it daily. Well, I wonder what this person is going to think, or I wonder what that person is going to think, or this and this and this and that. Valerie, you're making too many videos. Or Valerie, what are they going to think if you wear a green wig today? Valerie, you're showing way too much skin with your little fat body self. Doubts, 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 doubts. Doubts are our jailers. Doubts are our masters. They keep us in bondage. And doubts can come from others, but they're only anchored and accepted by you. You choose to allow that doubt to take root within your conscious awareness. No, somebody can throw that seed over there, but if there's nothing there that's going to accept it or allow it to grow, there's no belief, whatever, then that doubt is just going to blow in the wind. It ain't going to do nothing. It's going to be gone. But if you got, well, maybe, that could be right. Well, I guess. Then it's going to grow. It's going to take root. And like the Bible say, when you have these kind of little entities, demons, thoughts, they attract others just like them. And you have nothing but you become a legion of doubts. A legion of doubts. Everything you do is full of doubts. Everything you say, every conversation is full of doubts. Every time you want to get intimate with someone, it's full of doubts. Every time you make love, it's full of doubts. Was I good enough? Did I please you? Full of doubts. Full of doubts. It's not about confidence. It's about wisdom. It's about acceptance of who you are as existence. That's not arrogance. That's not narcissism. It's acceptance of the wonder and the amazement of creation and creativity and the infinite possibilities of the shadow and of the light and of the integration and of the separation. It is the conceiving, it is the conception, it is the uniting, it is the making love, it is the pulling apart, and then, whew, that was good. Oh my. Can we do it again? Get rid of the doubts and watch a new world, a new existence, a new conscious awareness emerge, vaster than what you ever hoped or dreamed of. It has to come through you. It has to incarnate through you, through the fruits of your spirit. Is it born? Is it conceived? Is it known? Without a doubt. It bears witness to itself. Let it emerge, beloveds. When you find that doubt rising up out of habit, out of addiction, out of familiarity, check it. Check it with common sense. Check it with the sovereignty of the truth of who you are as incarnated existence. Unique in every aspect of your being and beingness. You are here to be unique. You are not here to be a carbon copy of somebody's idea of what is top, what is superior. So, what are you saying about God? God created mess, God made mistakes, arrogance. The arrogance that supremacy requires blows my mind. It blows my mind. It just examine it, beloveds. Look at it carefully. Look at it. Look at what it requires to hold oneself as superior in existence of the universe, the multiverse, of the microcosmic and the macrocosmic, of life, plant, animal, human. And you're superior to what? To what are you superior? And what standards do you hold, and where did you get that information from? And what proof do you have? And how does that stance of superiority, how does it serve unconditional love? Because that's the point of existence, service. Universal laws serve. Wisdom serves. We are in service to our higher selves, to remove the doubts, to perform that alchemy of turning lead into gold, rising that kundalini from the animalistic to the highest, loftiest, conscious awareness of the supreme aspects of existence. Namaste, beloveds. Thank you for listening, and I am going to continue with this energy, continue exploring it, and continue being fed by it, and allowing it to expand me in the ways that I need to expand. So I'm grateful to be able to share this through the medium of video, which can be seen and heard, and hopefully can be felt by you. So again, namaste, beloveds, and thank you. And for just more of what's coming through for me, on a daily basis, I share on Facebook, and I share freely and openly. So you don't have to befriend me. You can follow me. If I usually try to put what is nurturing, what also sparks the development of conscious awareness of our beingness, as our existence as multiple expressions and diverse ways of seeing, being, feeling, knowing, thinking, acting, existing, creating, destroying. So on Facebook. So Valerie Ames, and I'll put the link under here. Thank you, beloveds. There we go. Finding that. There we go. Namaste.